Hello and welcome to another episode of Puttering Outdoors. Today we're going to be working outdoors. We're going to be tilling up the garden. It started to really get nice out here. It's like 25 degrees Celsius. It's such beautiful weather and it's time to get our plants in the ground. But I also want to talk about the quick hitch. The tiller that I got wasn't quick hitch compatible. But I did modify it to make it quick hitch compatible, and once I bought that quick hitch, I made modifications to it and modifications to some of my implements that weren't quick hitch compatible, just so that everything was could be hooked up with that. But first, let's get this knocked out, and then I'll show you all the modifications I made to the other implements. If you got a tractor and you do gardening, make sure you get a tiller because it's really worth it. I'm gonna head off and do my neighbors now, and then I'll catch back with you after. Okay, the first 3-point hitch implement that I modified is my ballast box. And what I had to do to modify this one is, first of all, the top link was a little bit too high up and too far in. So all I did is I welded a couple of bars here so I could drop my top link pin down a little bit. Also, the bottom link, they were too close to, they were spread out far apart enough. However, they were too close to the box itself, so the mechanism that hooks onto the pin was too thick and it wouldn't fit in between the pin and the box, the ballast box. So what I had to do is actually pull this out a little bit. So I did that on both sides, and now this ballast box is compatible with my quick hitch, and it made it so much easier to have this as quick hitch compatible because when you want to hook on the box blade or whatever, it's so much easier to just drop this here. And I made that stand too, by the way, just because the ballast box does not reach the ground, so there's no way to drop it without lifting it off or putting it on a platform like I did here. And this platform here, I had to modify the front end here so that the hitch that I put on there, the receiver, could actually sit and recess into the platform itself. The other implement that I had to modify to be able to receive the quick hitch is the tiller. As you saw earlier, I just used a tiller. I was able to back up to it and pick it up. And in order to modify this one, what I had to do is the pin for the bottom pins here used to go in here, and they were too close together. So what I had to do is create this extension. I welded on this box. It receives the pin and now it connects to this one and the other side, no problem. It's not bending, it seems strong enough, so that's good. Also, the top link was a little bit too low, or too high, sorry, and a little bit too far in, so I welded on these two brackets or flat stock so that the top link pin would be a little bit lower. I'm sure this has avoided my warranty, but I'm not a person to do any warranties anyways. I usually fix stuff myself, and And yeah, and that's it there, and it works perfectly. The other two attachments that I have are already quick hitch compatible. As you can see, they got the sticker on there, and they're both Land Pride, so no problems hooking up the box blade and the rotary cutter. As you can see, it says quick hitch compatible. No problems there at all. Man, I'd love to store this stuff inside, but I can't. There's one more modification that I made, and I'll show you that right now. And the modification that I made is on the 3-point hitch, or on the quick hitch itself. These quick hitch hitches are meant for category 1 and category 2 implements, and the category 2 has a wider pin down here. So what I did, usually you have to use one of these bushings or adapters to put onto your pins, so that, you know, then this will accept it properly. But what I did is I cut one of these pins in half, and I welded it down here so that the pins can actually set right perfectly into that groove. It still has a little bit of the play at the top right here, but it doesn't matter at all to have that little bit of play. I did that on the other side as well, and it works really good. Instead of having to buy a set of these for every implement that I have or that I will buy, it's a lot simpler to just weld that piece on there, and works like a charm. One other thing that I had to do was buy a PTO shaft extender, because I had already cut my PTO shaft for the 3-point hitch. That's right over there, and it would have been way too short, because the 3-point hitch does add an extra 2.5 inches, I believe, that it puts it away from the back of the tractor. So then the shaft would have been 2.5 inches too small. So I bought this PTO shaft extender, this thing here. I'll take it out, and there you go. That's all it is. This was, I think, like 50 or 60 bucks, something like that. But it saved me from having to buy another shaft for that tiller. It doesn't matter for the shaft for the rotary cutter, because it's such a long shaft. An extra 2.5 inches does not hurt it. There's still a lot of overhang or bite, I guess, to the shaft, that it doesn't matter, even though if I lose an extra 2.5 inches of telescoping range, I guess. For me, that quick hitch is a huge time saver. Anybody that has a tractor and that has to change 3-point elements or attachments, it knows how much of a pain it is to do. You have to adjust these turnbuckles down here. You got to adjust those, because every implement has different widths, so you got to adjust those so that it doesn't have too much sway back and forth, and they're a real pain in the butt to adjust. Once you have it attached to the 3-point hitch, the quick hitch, it, you know, it's a one-time setting, and then that's it. You don't have to adjust it again. And as you can see, this is solid. It doesn't sway at all, because I have it nice and tight, and it's really, I don't know, it's nice and sturdy. I think it was, I don't know, 130, 150 bucks at Princess Auto here in Canada. It was well worth the money, that's for sure. And now whenever I want to attach the box blade, the rotary cutter, anything, the ballast box, I just back up to it, and if I remember, I can put those levers down, and once I back up to it, it'll automatically lock itself in, and I can just drive off and start using the implement. I don't even have to get off the tractor. It's such a time saver. But anyways, just wanted to share my my quick hitch experience with you guys, and show you what I did to modify the attachments that I had for it to be able to be compatible with the 3-point hitch or the quick hitch. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please like it, and I hope to see you next time.